Amore Pizza King, serving Rockville since 1972. Dine in, carry out, or drive up window. Come and see us. Thank you, Rockville, for 50 years of business.
Okay, we better get started here. It's 9 o'clock. So we're already going to start out and talk about our joint resolution with the commissioner.
Okay, so over the last month and a half or so, we've been working on this situation with the ARP funding. Actually, it goes back to the budget. So in order to make all that official, we have a couple joint resolutions with the commissioners to deal with. So the first one would be Resolution 2021-11, and you have blank copies of this in your stuff I left for you there. This is a joint resolution of the Board of Commissioners and County Council awarding premium pay for public safety employees from the American Rescue Plan Fund. As we determined in our budget hearings and our adopted budget, that there would be the following positions eligible: the jail officers, jail sergeants, dispatchers, dispatcher supervisor, the jail commander, the chief deputy, patrol sergeants, the detective sergeant, and the sheriff's deputies, as well as in the ambulance service, the EMS director, the EMT supervisors, and the certified EMTs. For our adoption, they will be awarded up to $2,000 for 2022. The sheriff, the EMA director, and the EMS director will be responsible for documenting the hours worked and retaining those documents and reporting it to the auditor with the normal payroll submissions. So that's Resolution 2021-11 for your consideration.
Any comments or questions, or if not,
Motion to approve Resolution 2021-11.
I'll second.
motion been made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
The next joint resolution is 2021-12. This is a joint resolution of the Board of Commissioners and the County Council of Parke County allocating matching funds for Round 3 of the Indiana Next Level Connections Broadband Grant Program. After the challenge process from the last 2 months, we've heard from providers that applied for locations in Parke County. Joint was the first one that spoke with us in November, and Bloomingdale Home Telephone spoke with us in December. After that, the challenge process was revealed and the amount of locations was changed. And from that, Parke County, or the ARP group, has submitted the decision to appropriate funds up to the amount of $1,004,900 for match money for the applications submitted by providers, the Next Level Grant Connections Program. And I will talk in a moment about how that would be allocated through a memorandum of understanding. But in order to make this official for the providers, we need to adopt this resolution allocating up to that much from the ARP fund. That would be a little under 1/3 of the county's allocation at this point.
Any discussion? Questions?
Move approval.
Second. Motion been made and seconded to adopt resolutions 2021-12. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, in order to allocate that, this is an informational piece here. We will not have any action on this. This will be acted on between the providers and the commissioners. But we chose to allocate that money based upon dollars per eligible address in the grant program or past address to get to that location. We used from this the joint addresses that they applied for because they were the largest number that we had any request for. They ended up available or eligible 53 addresses and 720 passed. The amount of match would be allocated at $1,300 per eligible or past address awarded to the provider. In the event that there are fewer, then the total number, then those funds will just be retained. The caveat to it, the stipulation for any provider is that no install fees shall be charged to any eligible address served, as those fees were previously awarded by the state if they get it. That any install fees for past addresses up to a distance of 300 feet shall not exceed that of $250 if the resident or business signs up for the service within 6 months of install of the main line through roadway right of way. And that no funds will be awarded to any provider that has not received grant funds through the Next Level Connections grant. So, for this $1,004,900 to be awarded in any amount, then the provider will sign this MOU and the commissioners will execute this MOU, which will then make them eligible to receive funding from it. So that you all know how this is going to end up happening. That's the mechanism. Okay? Questions about that? We're trying to provide or present is exorbitant install fees for people that are being passed on the way to eligible locations. If you're going to get funding from the taxpayer, then it's not appropriate. We didn't believe that it was appropriate that you can then be charged many thousands of dollars to be connected to it. So the provider will have to make a decision whether or not they accept those terms. Okay?
Good. I want to thank the commissioners, this is a joint decision and to come together to do this. I think it worked out well and either body could have said no. And so I thank Commissioner Meese and the Board of Commissioners for their assistance. Okay, salary ordinance.
All right, we after we adopted the salary ordinance beginning of the month, we came up with a few things that needed to be amended. So you have a copy of this in your information there. We're going to add one notation to the bottom, and these are the hourly rates, hourly overtime rates for the positions that we determined and the commissioners codified on last Monday. For the dispatchers, the dispatch supervisor, the jail officers, and the jail sergeants. So you see those numbers on there. They'll be written into the salary ordinance as a new notation. The next one is an amendment to notation 15. Basically, that we added in here I added in here per resolution 2021-11. We had written this in the original ordinance that, assuming the commissioners agreed on their end, that we would award premium pay. So I went ahead and changed that since we were doing an amendment anyway to identify the resolution. And the third amendment is on notation number 5. The added part of this is if you start 4 lines down, with all full-time ambulance service personnel who hold administrative positions and hold a valid EMT certification shall receive a $2,000 per year stipend. We have an administrator in the ambulance service who responds to calls and works the truck and so on and so forth, and felt like it was appropriate to award that person a stipend equivalent to what the actual EMTs were getting in ARC funding, due to going above and beyond in that position, responding to the calls, working the trucks, and so on and so forth. So if you find it so appropriate, I would encourage a salary ordinance to be amended for these 3 items.
Questions? Hearing none.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to adopt the amendments to the salary ordinance. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
out of the additional salaries in EMS. We have the one signed by the commissioners here, so you'll have to sign those. Transfers.
Okay, ready for transfers?
These are the auditors, so I'll let her.
Yeah, Laura, you'll have to go over those.
The first one here is our the Perth County's Perth is short by $8,152.28. I would like to transfer from Social Security into Perth to take that count out of the red for the end of the year. The next one is the Health Department Social Security is in the red for $38.19 for the end of the year. I would like to transfer $38.19 from the nurse into the Social Security. The statewide 911 fund, that Social Security account is in the red for $100.20. I would like to transfer from publications to Social Security to get that out of the red. And the next one is the county highway. They're wanting to transfer $36,535.12 from equipment rental into repair parts. The next one's another county highway lit. It is transferring $10,919.75 from the materials to parts. And the last one is $3,481.63 for the county highway bridge, for the Cume Bridge Highway, from the legal service to the bridge carpenters.
Randy and Janie are here, so, what is the situation with there's quite a bit of transfer here to repair parts? What,
We've had a lot of-
something happening, or?
Yeah, we had a lot of expenses this year. We got one truck we don't have back yet, but, that's $36,220.58 for a new engine. We bought a computer now,
Well, that'll eat up $46,000 in a hurry.
yes.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the bridge carpenter one?
I
That's
think
salary lines.
we're a little short on it.
Do we know why?
Yeah, the amount appropriated in 2020 was the same amount appropriated in 2021. There was no increase in the budget in that line. It was $109,210 in 2020, and it was the exact same amount in 2021. So that's why we're short.
Okay. Did I miss something there? It's very possible.
I thought maybe it might have something to do because, we gave those raises in the middle of the year. I didn't know if that would have affected, I know that would have affected some of your lines.
And that's one
Are-
where he's always had people in all
That's
the
the next
years.
question I was gonna ask. There's
Yeah.
not been a hole, has there been any holes in bridge carpenter this
No.
year?
No.
I mean, there is in truck drivers and equipment operators
Yeah,
and so
everything
on and
else.
so forth, but
That's all in steady.
So they cushion
What happened to the engine, Randy?
Truck 34, what happened?
What happened to it?
The engine, rod went through the engine.
This?
Was it out of oil or wore out or what?
No, just
Just puked.
something come loose.
Okay.
Is that one of those old, one of the Sterlings?
No, that's one of them internationals,
Or yeah.
but it's one of them we've had the most trouble with. They
The
put a
one-
new engine in it before,
The ones you're trying to weed out.
yeah,
Yeah. Slowly getting rid of them.
slowly.
Yeah.
Man, that's quite a chunk for a motor.
You don't want to start
Of
working.
course, that's them installing it too,
Pardon me?
That's them installing it.
Oh, yeah, but, even,
Yeah.
Yeah, still a chunk.
yeah.
Don't blow one up in your combine.
I hope not. You never know. You never know. Well, I think we're fine with that. You're correct that we didn't adjust that one line, so we'll be fine to do the transfer. So, any other questions on the transfers?
Clean up work.
Motion to approve the transfers as presented.
So,
Okay, motion been made, second, approved transfers, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a happy new year.
If you have time, I have
Can you
one
sign
more.
those?
Oh,
got
sure.
one other
Cindy,
thing.
I wanna give
Yeah,
it to Cindy
sure.
and have her.
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just something for her to sign.
Randy's got one other thing. Go ahead,
Okay,
Randy.
all right.
These are a list of the roads that we're gonna turn in for
There we go.
this January's call for.
You guys didn't call me to help pick again. I keep thinking you're gonna call me to help pick.
I really begged that they would do your road, but they said no.
I knew I could count on your help. Next year, right?
Yeah, it's on the list.
Okay.
You can get these and just-
They didn't call me either, did they?
Yeah, well, I knew they weren't
well,
calling.
they're
You
up
had
my
all
road.
your roads
They weren't
fixed.
calling.
They're at my house, yeah, right.
I'm on the road north of Holmesburg, blacktop, but no, I'm not gonna get it.
No, those are all from you, Jim. You don't get-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We've got, the first road is 1,000 east from 720 to Ferndale Road, 3.397 mile. The next one is 720 south from 1,200 east to Fallen Rock Road. That's 7.872 mile. That's the worst part of it. The other 3 mile almost is not too bad a shape. And then 350 north from 59 to 1,200 east, 5.006 mile. And then I don't know if we'll get to do this one or not, but Ferndale Road from Walker Ramp Road to the change in the blacktop where the DNR stopped with their funding.
Oh, okay, yeah, down there at the bottom of the dam.
Bottom of the
Yeah.
dam.
Mhm.
So 350 north, is that the one that Rusty McCutcheon lives on? You know that little bridge right there west of his house? They're gonna do that before they would blacktop?
Yeah.
Cause that whole side keeps falling or washing away.
That bridge has been like that for 15 years.
Well, it has, and they've
Yeah.
tried to do
Longer
something
than that,
with
really.
it, but,
Yeah.
cause the guardrails sunk down into the, but you are gonna try to do that before they would blacktop.
We're gonna put in a 10-foot pipe, probably around 60 feet long. He's figured on the skew and the length we need, but
Right.
probably gonna be around 60 feet long.
Well, it'd be good to do that, before, we don't want to cut up the brand new blacktop, cause that just causes everybody to be livid.
On a couple more expensive ones is gonna be down on Fallen Rock Road. There's two 84-inch by 50-foot long pipes side to side. They're rusted out in the bottom, so we're gonna replace those. And then some other pipes too.
So maybe I missed this, so is this what you're applying for? This is already what we're applying for, or this is already what we got grant money
No,
for?
this is what we're applying for in January. Carl.
So you apply for this in January?
These would be the 23 jobs then, right? Or you do them later this year, later in 22?
It'd be later in 22, I think.
Because we've got
Sure, yeah.
this round 21 round 2 projects to do, right?
But this will be a 22 round one.
And if we
They can
get
be
that one, then
combined
you'll
together.
end up all of them in 22.
So so this is what we're applying for then?
Mm-hmm.
No, we want to tell people to get their road blacktop.
No, not yet. You
No,
better
yeah,
not do
no.
that yet.
I
Okay,
just
well-
want you guys to know. So.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
we appreciate it, it's good to know, because we're asked
Oh, yeah.
occasionally about that, and it's nice to know. So,
That's all I have, unless you guys have anything
okay,
else.
well,
Okay. Well, have a good day.
Thank you.
all right,
You too.
Happy New Year.
Good.
Anything else?
On those roads, while you're thinking about that, Bridgeton, we didn't get enough of a grant to do every road in Bridgeton. There's one street in Bridgeton that we're probably gonna do on our own, just like warn you ahead of time about some funds probably, so no reason not to do every street in Bridgeton. They took that one out of the bid. I don't know what that costs. You know what that cost's gonna be for that road in that street in Bridgeton that we're gonna do on our own?
67, something like that.
Okay. So that'd probably be on top of
I
our
can't remember.
grant that we had. And then another possibility for additional funds, if we don't get all of these, Ferndale Road would be the one that we, if we decide to do it, if we can afford to do that on our own, it'd be good to have have those people here doing those roads all around. It'd be good to just go ahead and get it done, but we don't know what that costs.
Yes,
I
sir.
may have to asking for more money to do our projects this year.
Okay.
Because their oil prices went up 30%,
I imagine.
30 cents a gallon, so.
Me too.
So just may have those two coming, but we'll see how.
Yeah, we
Take them that comes, see what we got.
yeah, we'll try to do anything we can, because certainly the roads are a priority.
Okay.
Just wanted to remind you, going in next year to think about, as money's coming in, you know, you think about money is, we talked last time about that chiller's gonna have to be replaced at some time, that's probably $160,000 or so before we get that chiller replaced, we'll have to do that probably in the spring before air conditioning's needed, so, something to think about.
Just open the window, how's that?
Yeah, well, we'll just put window units in there, all the windows.
Oh, that'd look nice.
Yeah, that'd be good, yeah.
Yeah, that'd look nice. Yeah, okay.
And the only other thing that we agreed on doing first were the enunciators. I haven't seen those numbers yet. He has all those, but we haven't seen a number yet of what that's gonna cost to do the fire enunciators in the courthouse. We agreed that'd be the first project we.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea, because if a place ever gets on fire, they never will get it out.
No. Otherwise, I don't need any money for anything, I'm
Oh,
okay.
imagine that.
Well, man, right, we've gotten everything you wanted, so then, right?
Yeah. Working on it.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Okay,
No, I got it.
okay, Happy New Year.